What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to mine VishAI. It sounds like a few of you guys are having some issues, so hopefully this does help you out. Also, it's a little tricky here tuning for this because you think you just lay all your threads out, hash away, and that's not the case. You actually do a lot better in hash rate limiting a lot of threads. So we'll talk about that towards the end of the video, a couple tips here. Again, I don't know 100% how to actually tune these yet, but I can kind of help you get moving forward so you guys can kind of figure out what the best setting may be for your CPUs. All right, so for mining this coin, obviously you're gonna need a wallet. Now, if you want, you can obviously the best way to always mine any crypto is download their wallet, put it somewhere because it's a new coin. We don't know if there's any viruses or anything on it, so isolate it on a separate computer or something. But if you do want to run master nodes with 1 million coins, you do have to have the wallet. Now, a lot of people, including myself, not recommended, never do it, but I'm still doing it, is mining to an exchange. So if you go to your wallet here, you can just simply come into here, type Vish in the search bar, and then once it comes up, simply hit deposit, and that will bring you your depositing address. And this is the address you will mine to, and then you'll receive your tokens here at the exchange on Exegdrix, however you do pronounce it, Exeg there, you know, XEGGEX, the exchange, and then you can just sell them if you want. That's my plan here. I don't know the future of this coin right now. I'm only purely looking at profitability. And speaking of current profitability, at about 0.0041 cents, 19.3 mega hash online, a single 3900X is currently making about $2.11 before power, and these are not using very much power. It's probably a good 10 to 15 watts, under 100 watts there. I'm guessing 80 to 85 watt mark. I haven't tested at the wall or anything, but it's using a lot less power than any other CPU mineable coin out there. All right, so once you have your wallet address and everything ready to roll, you're gonna need a miner. So I'm using my HiveOS rigs just to kind of point some things out here. You can see I have a mixture between SRB miner and CPU miner opt with the CPU power fork. So just like XM rig, you know, you have your MO forks, you have your CC forks, CPU miner opt has its R plant fork, CPU power, and so on, all sorts of different ones. Now, keep in mind, CPU power opt, CPU power will not work on R plant. You're gonna have to use the R plant fork if you plan on mining to R plant. For this video, we are gonna be pointing everybody over to Viper Pool because our plant has way too much hash rate on it, like 98%. So it's good to kind of decentralize the hash rate a little bit, especially if you care about a coin. Most of us probably don't really care about this right now. Maybe some people will in the future once we see how it plays out. But we're going to be using Viper's test pool. They have been finding blocks. There's a decent amount of hash rate here, and things are looking pretty good. So that's what we're going to roll with. So coming back to the miner itself here, we can see on the dual epic, I am using CPU miner opt CPU power. That's I found, at least, is that it is giving me the most amount of hash. With SRB miner, I was only doing about 10 kilohash. Now on the single epic, I'm using SRB miner. It seems to be getting an extra 600 hashes or so over CPU miner opt. And then when it comes to all my normal rigs, all the Ryzen 39s, 3950Xs, all the 3 and 5000 series, I'm using the CPU miner opt here. And then when it came to the 7000 series, at least in HiveOS, because in Windows you do have the option to choose which miner you want to run, like the AMD version stuff in HiveOS, it wasn't working for me. It didn't want to load, so I'm just rolling SRB miner for that. And I'm also using SRB miner on my test bench, which is an Intel CPU, and I found it's getting an extra 100 hashes over CPU miner opt. So there's a lot of different options here on tweaking, finding the proper miner and stuff for you, and so on. So those are the two miners that you're going to use. So for in this case though, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up SRB miner. All right, so here I am inside of SRB miner. Now I'm only using version 2.4.1. I do believe the latest version is 2.4.5. Now people in the Discord were talking a couple days ago that the latest version of SRB miner actually broke the yes power algorithm. So you do have to use, I think, at least or at the earliest or something, 2.4.3. So 2.4.1 works, but the ones after 2.4.3 might not necessarily work. So when we get the Hive OS, we'll show you how to change the version stuff. But I'm just running 2.4.1 and it seems to be working just fine. Now there was a new version just released 2 days ago. That one might work because I do believe 2.4.4 was the one at the time where everyone was saying it's broken, but I'm not 100% sure the version, but 2.4.3 does work just fine. So here we are inside of the miner itself, and we can see SRB miner multi, disabled GPU and stuff. One thing I should point out, let's go back here. Sorry, there's so many things going on here. I apologize. It's not as straightforward as a usual how to mine is, but come into and find any coin that says yes power something. Here you can see yes power tied. Just simply edit it and just, oh, this algorithm already says yes power, but if it has something else, all you got to do for your algorithm is simply put in yes power here. So just find one of the preset bat files that already has something close to yes power, and that brings you to us here. The algorithm is yes power. Here's our pool. So pool.viperlab.net :16004. I will have this linked down in the description there, and I'll also have the pool linked obviously here as well. You can simply come onto it, hit start mining, and all your setup configs are right here, pool.viperlab.net, and this is the port you're going to want to use. So once you get that in there, then you're simply going to paste your wallet address in here, followed by a period, and then your worker name. So in this case, this is my rabid.workstation, so rabid WS, and then here's the command --CPU-threads space, and then the threads you want to run. Now I found that the 7000 series isn't as picky to set the threads as the 3 and 5000 series. In this case, I'm getting about 3.1, 3.2 kilohash or so. I have lots of windows open. I got a lot of testing to do to find the sweet spot, but I'm just running 28 threads on the 7950X, and I'm getting about 3.1. So that's not too bad. I am getting 3.6 on the 7900Xs, running at only 11 threads. So yeah, I got a lot of tweaking to do here. In theory, this should run more, but it seems like a lot of CPUs with less cores over the big boys are actually doing better than the larger core CPUs, which is interesting. So that's pretty much all you got to do. Once you're done setting up that bat file like so, simply double click VishAI and it'll just begin mining for you. As you can see, it's going to boot up, it's going to connect to the pool, it's going to say I'm using 28 threads and so on, and then it'll begin mining. That's how you kind of set this up in Windows. Hopefully I didn't lose anyone there. It's a pretty simple process once you know the basics. Algorithm is yes power. Put in the pool address, set your threads, set your wallet address and worker name, and you should be good to go. The hard part is finding how many threads to actually use. So we're going to talk about that more once we get into Hive OS, because that's where the majority of my rigs are. All right, guys, so here we are in Hive OS. So the first thing you are going to want to do is set up your wallet. So simply go to your wallets here. I see a lot of people, they have Buttcoin in here and that in there. You don't have to do any of that. Just simply go to your wallets, add wallet, find coin, type coin in the ticker. You know, there's nothing here. Just type in VishAI. If it doesn't exist, it's going to make it. I already made a wallet, so now it kind of knows it's here, but that's where you're going to pick. So VishAI, I'm going to select this. I'm going to go like this. It's probably going to say create your token if it's actually not here. Let's just make something up just to show you. The Rabid coin moon. So the Rabid coin moon, create the Rabid coin moon. So now you can see that's how you create it. At that point, it will just show up. You copy your wallet address into this spot right here, then name it whatever you want. In my case, I did name my wallet VishAI dump, as in dump the coin, get some profits. You know, you do whatever you want. You can hold it, run masternodes. Masternodes are probably going to make a lot of people a lot of money on this coin, especially if not many go online, because masternodes do get a little bit of rewards every block found, and it's only 1 minute block times. I believe there's only 33 nodes online right now, so there's a lot of coins. I believe 1 million coins on a masternode is making like 78,000 coins a day right now on its own. Regardless, we're not here to talk about masternodes. Once you get your wallet all set up, next up, we're going to jump into that flight sheet. So coming into the flight sheet here, once it loads, now we're going to type coin in the ticker. Everything should be there because you put it in your wallet. So now I'm simply going to type in Vish, and it should pop up like so. Now I'm going to select my wallet. So I'm going to go with Exeg, the exchange in my case. I also have VishAI here. I don't know why I keep saying Vast and Vash, and I don't know why I keep saying this stuff, but this is my core wallet. I do have the core wallet, but I am just simply mining to the exchange. If I change my mind and want to go into a node, I can simply withdraw it and put it into my core wallet. But that's not really my plan right now. Next up, there's no pools in by default. Obviously, brand new coin here. We're going to configure that in the miner, and then we're going to go to SRB miner. Now, it's going to be pretty much the same thing if you're using CPU miner opt or SRB miner. So now you name your flight sheet whatever you want. We're going to go up to the setup miner config. So you are going to have to use the yes power algorithm. It does pop up right there. Wallet, you're going to want to simply go like that. With SRB miner, I like to put my wallet and worker name over here, not over here. A lot of coins, they don't like to work on this side here. So we're going to cut this out. Paste that in like so. Now we got to put in our pool server and port, which is quite simple. We're just going to copy this. Remember, 6004 is our port. So I'm just going to paste this in like so, put in our colon, and then 16004. Just double check that was correct. 16004. Yep. So there we go. Password, we don't need anything. We're going to set our overclocking, or I guess threads and stuff, in the tuning parameter, which is what everyone's been doing. Now this is where you set your version. So if you click down here, you can run the latest 2.45, 2.44, or 2.43. So simply click on 2.43 because I do know that this one works for sure. So use that one. Then you simply apply your changes and it'll create your flight sheet for you. Now, while we're here, I'm also going to show you CPU miner op. So CPU miner, we can see it pops up right here. You know, we still have all this here, same wallet address, configure in the miner, flight sheet name. You'd obviously change it because you're on a different miner if you're running different rigs or something, or trying both out. So now we're going to set up the miner config here. Now we're going to go, let's just stop here for a second. First thing I want to do here is go to miner fork down here. And this is where we're going to pick CPU power. So we got to use the CPU power fork. The latest is all we need here. And now I'm going to type in yes power. Yes script, no, yes power. So Crane Pay, this is the first one that pops up. This will work 100%. That's what I'm using. So just use the yes power Crane Pay CRP setup here. Click on that. Now we need our wallet worker template, wallet.worker name. Now our pool URL, same thing. And then we're just going to go 16004. Again, always go back, double check. 16004 is this port. So now we're coming in, and that's it. That's all you got to do. So now you would just get out of there. Sorry. So now you just apply those changes, and this flight sheet would be set up for CPU miner ops CPU power fork. And then, like any flight sheet, once you do create that flight sheet, scroll down to it. You can see I got them all running right now, SRB miners as well as the CPU miner ops CPU power. There'd be a little rocket ship here. Simply click on that when you're on your worker. So now let's kind of talk a little bit about the tuning process. And the tuning works both ways. Now you can set CPU affinities. That is a huge pain, trying to figure out the proper affinity to use for your CPU. I've been kind of skipping that, and I've been getting pretty close to the same hash rates as everyone that's been tweaking for that, just by setting threads. Now remember, I mentioned earlier that finding the proper thread count is key to this. So you can see I have hash rates all over the place. This is also a RAM dependent coin. So just like RandomX and stuff, it does love the faster low latency RAM, and it does like 2 sticks of RAM. That's why some of these have crappy RAM in them, as you can see, and I have pretty low hash rates. Or maybe these CPUs just could use a little bit more tweaking, but for the most part, these are all 3900Xs here, so they should be fairly close depending on the system that you built. So we're going to jump into here, and I'm going to show you how to tune these things. So you may or may not be aware about this. If you're in the Discord, you already know about this. Keaton went through it with a bunch of people there past couple days and stuff, but there is a tuning button right here. So if you click on tuning, now you can choose the actual miner that you're using. This is where we're going to set all the threads. That way, anytime you run this miner, it's going to do this. So if you moved CPU miner off to like Raptorium or something, you're going to want to change your tuning, because this isn't what you run when you're on Raptorium. You do run full thread and so on. So I'm just using that for an example. If you move to a different coin that's not yes power, you will have to readjust your tuning here. But here, all you're going to do is click the pencil icon, your edit, and you can see it's just like setting up your normal miner, but you're not changing anything here. All you're doing is putting all your config stuff here. In this case, I went threads. You can see we got our quotation, threads, quotation, :space 11 threads. That's all you need to set on 3900Xs is 11 threads. I think it's pretty much the same for 3950s and 5950Xs. Even though they have more cores and threads, it's just the same type of number basically. You can try playing around with it. Like I said, I'm not done tweaking everything. 12 or 13 should get you something better on those bigger ones, but it's really hard to tell. Now, if you take this 11 threads and move it up to 12, you're going to lose hash rate. If you take this 11, some people are running on 10 doing pretty good. So if you go down to 10, it might be the same, maybe a little bit better. Then if you go down to 9 threads, you're going to lose hash rate. So 10, 11 threads on the 3900X seems to be the optimal range. And that's threads, guys, remember. We're talking about setting the threads here, which really we're only using like half the CPU, which is insane. In theory, that means you could dual mine something like VirusCoin or something, but it's just still not very good. Dual mining on a CPU isn't like dual mining, because you don't have all this memory to mine a memory coin and so on and stuff like that. So the only thing that you really dual mine, which is more like ZIL mining, that's not really dual mining, is something like Epic Cache. But regardless, that's how you set that kind of up there in the tuning process. Now you can kind of see what I got going on. Now for the Epic 7742, in the tuning here, you can see this is actually set to 63 threads in CPU mining ops. So I'm just going to kind of run through the CPU, show you the settings I have here. Epic, this is the single Epic, the tuning. This is set at 48 threads is what we have set here, even though it's a 64 core, 128 thread CPU. If I add more threads here or reduce threads, we're going to end up with less hash rate. That's what I said. It's very picky, especially the more cores on the CPUs you have. It gets pickier and pickier because then you got to find the magic number. And I don't even know if this one's fully tweaked out yet. I have no idea what the maximum hash we can actually get. It's going to take a lot of playing around and a lot of testing. So now let's just jump down. Look at the 7900Xs. They're at 3.6 here. These two rigs here, which is weird. I got something going on with rig 28. These two should be identical rigs, and these two here should be identical, but this one's not doing something. I wonder if I have a setting reset or something in there. I might have to look into it, but regardless, you can see the 39 or 7900X here tuning 11 threads again, but they are doing a pretty decent amount in performance. Now 3.6 kilohash, 2.7, 3.6 might not seem like much, but you can see how low our hash rate is on our GPUs or our CPUs here. Why did I say GPUs? I have no idea. But we can see the hash rate difference between this. It's low hashing algorithm, which means even a couple hundred hashes does help your profitability out quite a bit. So this is a pretty big jump between the generations, between the 3, 5, and 7000 here series here at almost 1 kilohash. That's crazy, 1,000 hashes. But that's setting these up in a nutshell. So use the miner that works best for you, either CPU miner ops CPU power or SRB miner. And you can see I got mixed things going on here based on different testing. Also, I still got to try so many different thread combinations because I don't even know if I'm really tweaked out yet. Not too many people have been mining this algo. Most of the coins on this algo is dead. And then VishAI comes out of nowhere and the profitability is looking pretty insane right now. All right, guys, so I do apologize. This was a fairly long video. So, I did a lot of ranting, but there was a lot of kind of information there towards the end about the overclocking settings. And I've been hammered with questions about that all day, like every 2 minutes. I bet you I had over 3,000 messages today about this. It was absolutely insane on people trying to figure this out. So hopefully you watch this video, guys. Like, I go through pretty much everything. It should answer your questions there. Again, I don't even 100% know exactly what the best settings are, but hopefully that does help you out in kind of tweaking your CPU. We're all learning here. We're all trying to do this together. So again, join the Discord also, guys. This is where you find out about all these new coins. CPU mining chat has been exploding today like crazy. Like, it's just been going off. Everyone's just excited. CPU mining. This is the bull run of CPUs, guys. So anyway, thank you for checking out this video. If you have any questions, join the Discord. A lot of people there can help you out, including myself, as well as that comment section below. Share this video around, and hopefully it helped you get up and mining. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.